everybody. It is me, Dan. Welcome to NuPath Live. I'm your host. Today is September 19th. Guys, it is 16 days from Walktoberfest. 16 days away. Now, we've got some work to do. Am I worried? No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried because I've been through this before. That's why my face looks the way it does. No, I'm kidding. Lots of other reasons for that. I know we can do this. It's just that we've got to stay focused. Now, with 16 days left, we know kind of generally where we should be if we're going to make this goal. And my challenge is we need to be at 140,000 by Monday. So we're ways off yet, but I know we can do it. Okay, you know what you got to do? Register for Walktoberfest, October 5th. I hope I said that. All right. I am very excited to talk to my guest today. And anybody who watched or happened to see one of my videos last week, we saw the same person on the field, kickball field up in Tewksbury. I'm talking, of course, about Roger Mumper, who's a program coordinator in Westford. Now, I'm going to give you a little detail, and I got Roger ready to come on. But do you know last month was his 14th work anniversary? I always say when people get over 10 years, that's huge. And we can pretty much count on you for being a solid thing into the future, we hope. But he's been in Westford for a year as program coordinator. And I remember that being kind of a big deal. We'll ask him about it if we remember to when he comes on. Because he wasn't sure if he was going to want to leave his group behind, and we hear that a lot sometimes when people move on to a different program. And then before that, he was life coach, team leader of a well-respected force at New Boston Street, and of course, then there's his efforts. So this is one of the big reasons we're going to talk to him right now. Just days away from our Walktoberfest, but Roger has been in what we call the Club 50 Dynasty member. The group, this is the group that has been part of Club 50 every year since it first began in 2015. And I think that group is down to about 9 people that still remain. Altogether, Roger's raised a grand total of over 15,000. He's been a member of the winning team 5 different times. That's huge. And he is now a member of Team Wild Westford. This competitive force, of course, the rhyme, is Roger Mumper. Let's bring him on now and talk to Roger about how he manages to be so successful. Hi, Roger. Welcome to NuPath Live.
Hi, how's it going?
I appreciate
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you've got kind of one eye cocked to the door to see if anyone's going to come running in, needing your help. You've been up in Westford now. Can you believe it's been a year that you've been there?
Yeah, time flies, but it's been good. It's been a good year. I like it up here in Westford.
Okay, now we're going to talk about all your fundraising, acumen and prowess and all of that stuff in a minute. But I want you to go way, way, way back to just before you started working here at NuPath. And I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, and then I want you to tell me what they are and react. Okay, ready? It's not what you expect. There's no way you can know. Ready? Okay, here we go. What are we looking? What are we looking at here? How would you describe this? These meats that we're looking at here.
Deli meats and scraps and ends. Yes.
And you told me something that I have never forgotten. And this is probably to gross people out to think that before I knew you, I did do that, would sometimes buy those ends cheaply. And what did you tell me about those ends?
They were like the leftover scraps, and they were just, yeah. It's not the best. I worked in a deli for 7 years before I came to NuPath, and
yes, you did. You did, and that's kind of why I wanted to go back down memory lane. You said never touch those. They've been manhandled 1,000 times over. All right. So thank you you were working at a deli. I tried to get you to come work here at NuPath for quite some time. You finally did. And thank God you did, because you've been such a important and incredibly meaningful addition to the team. I hear all the time when we approach this time of year, Walktoberfest, raising the money for the walk and all that. I hear all the time that it's so hard. People that aren't successful think it's just too monumental, too momentous a task. Talk to me about how you have managed to be so successful in your fundraising all these years, in your position, as life coach and now as program coordinator.
Um, I find that reaching out to as many people, even if it's a small way, like I don't get many big donations. I get a lot of small little ones, but they all add up. And I sell, the autism awareness bracelets for $2 each, and even just every little interaction. I mean, the other day, I went to sell someone a $2 bracelet, and I got a $100 donation just from only trying to get $2, and next thing I know, they thought it was a good cause and they were happy to help. They asked for my link and they gave me a $100 donation. So, most of my donations don't even come from family and friends anymore. They come from, community members that oftentimes don't even know what NuPath is until I tell them about it.
That's incredible to think that, when political candidates talk about money that they raise, they're very fond of saying, this is by many small donors giving lots of small amounts. And the reason that's important is that shows kind of a broad level of support. It's not just that one rich grandfather or something that you can always count on to write you a big check. There I am. I've become my mother. Big check. It's not that. It's in your case. You're talking about, really getting out there. Now you go to grocery stores. You sometimes will take somebody that you're working with, and you'll spend time. Can you just really briefly talk to us about how somebody might go about doing something like that?
Yeah, so over the years, I've done a few different grocery stores, usually Stop and Shop and Market Basket, and I just go and I ask permission to fundraise, and they either approve it or they don't. Usually it gets approved, and then I set up a little stand with make a sign. Um, yeah, I set up a stand and I sell them for $2 each, and I have a different variety. Over the years, I've tried to get more than just one color and kind. Give
And
people
excuse me, but
options.
these are ones you bought on Amazon, pretty
Yeah,
cheap
yeah,
things.
yeah. I buy them on Amazon. I probably make like 400% profit off of them. I buy them for 40 cents each, sell them for $2 each or something like that, and then all the profit I donate towards the walk. But I find a lot of the times it's not even just selling the $2 ones. It's I go to give them $2, change back. They'll say, okay, I got one. They'll give me a 10 or a 20. I'll go give them change, and they say, oh, just keep the change.
Yeah.
So it's even just, I feel like just getting that interaction with them at all. Even if I'm asking for a $50 donation, people are oftentimes they're not going to engage. But if you just say, hey, just only $2, and even just starting that conversation, a lot of times people are willing to just say, they'll give you a 5, a 10, or 20. Say, hey, just keep the change, and then they'll even, I'd say a lot of my donations, a lot of the money I raise, $1,000 or $2,000 every year is just from people giving me a $20 bill for a bracelet, telling me to keep
Right.
the change.
Roger, you know what? In the fundraising community, it's often said that the number one reason people don't give, do you know what it is?
They're not asked.
They're not asked. Exactly right. And so it is this is example in a different way of asking people that have maybe beforehand never had any contact with you, but they see what you're doing. You're respectful. You're able to speak to the wonderful work that you're doing, that we're doing. It's authentic. You're part of that community, and it can pay off. Now, I want to change gears real quickly. You've told us the way that you raise money, and that there's no excuse for somebody out there saying it can't be done because you do it every year. There's some pictures above you right now. You told us as we were getting ready for this. You've got a little bit of a I don't call it a shrine exactly, but you've got it's the repository of all of your successes. You, as we said earlier, you've been on the winning team 5 separate times. I think those are medals from your wins, and some of the other paraphernalia and things. This Club 50. is it worth working for? I mean, is it that much fun, or is it more just the notoriety of being able to say that you were in it? How does it work for you?
I think it's worth working for. I really enjoy it. It's something I look forward to every year, and it's I even look forward to the kickoff party, getting ready for the walk. I look forward to making the top 50 and then attending the event with my coworkers and whatever the event might be. I always look forward to it. And a guest, and it's nice. It's fun to get together with like-minded people, everyone who, spent time and effort to fundraise for NuPath. And it's always a good time. And honestly, it sounds strange, but like even the crunch time, and if you don't know yet, I mean, I never want to be close to not making the top 50. But some of the best feelings I've had at this company is last minute getting some big donations last minute to make sneak in the 40s, and I'm like, whew. I mean, feels like I'm watching a football game. My team's about to win the playoffs or something.
Right, right, right. That last day, if anybody is not been through it, and if you're anybody that's
Yeah,
remotely interested in being part of the Club 50, the beginning of the day could look like, it's not no big deal. I mean, the 50th person might be at, 1500 or something. And in the course of the last few hours of the day, it's just like, it's like looking at the New York Stock Exchange or something in the middle of a some crazy increase. Um, so we do try to have a good time. We try to take care of our Club 50 members. Do you know off the top of your head whether or not how much of Club 50, how much they raise out of the total amount in past years? This is kind of a trick question. We talk about it a lot. I didn't know if you remembered the ratio.
so out of last year, how much was the
Every
question?
year, we're raising $300,000 this year. What percentage do you think is raised by the Club 50?
I mean, definitely more than half. I'll maybe even say like
It
60%, maybe
80.
80%.
It's called
Wow.
the 80-20 rule. And that means that 20% of the people, because that's roughly the Club 50 count, are raising 80% of the money. So this group is very important to us. Everybody's important. We need all the money we can get, and everybody's out there trying. We value you. What would you say, real quick, in the last minute or so that we've got together? What would you say to maybe some person who's new to NuPath? They've never really tried before. We're a couple weeks out yet. Is there still time? Do you think that it'd be worth it for them to try? I mean, would you have any words of encouragement?
Yeah. You don't until you try, you can't know. You'd be surprised. One of my coworkers, someone who works here in Westford now, um, Nate Judy, shout out to him if you want to donate, anyone. He's trying to make the top 50, part of Team Wild Westford now, and he's already up almost over $1,000 already. First year ever trying. He's people, even if you don't think you have donors, or you don't think your family and friends want to donate, you'd be surprised. You reach out, whether it's social media or whether it's just talking to people. Tell you, sell anything that's cheap just to engage with people and
Mhm.
get the word out. And then you'd be surprised, people are willing to donate a lot of times that you've never even met, never even heard of the company, but they know it's for a good cause.
Roger Mumber, you have been so great to talk to today. I know that I hope that people find your message encouraging, and maybe there'll be somebody out there that hears it that says, if he can do it, I can do it. If anybody has any questions or needs any advice, can they email you? That'd be all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any last parting words for us, Raj, before we let you go and get back to work? I know you're busy.
Um, we got this.
We got this. That's right. Hey, thank you so much for being a part of this today and for joining us and for talking to us and for all your great work. We're really proud to know that you got your start at New Boston Street and you're spreading the good word everywhere you go. So thank you and keep up the great work. We'll see you soon, okay?
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right. Oh, I always love talking to our staff. And if you've been around as long as I have, you get pretty attached to some staff that have been here a long time. We've got some really great people. Thanks to Roger Mumford for joining us. All right, moving on. we are going to talk to Rosemary Hubbard. She's the mother and board member, mother of Robert Hubbard, who we have served through NuPath, and the fundraising queen herself, fundraising extraordinaire. As a member of the board and as Robert's mother, she's raised so much money for NuPath. And let's get her perspective. We recorded this yesterday because of her schedule. And I think you'll enjoy it. Oh, and we're going to premiere the what we're calling our sponsor reel. This is a video that we put together to try to encourage businesses to take an interest and to sponsor NuPath for this very worthy cause. Let's take a look at that.
So Cambridge Savings Bank receives numerous requests for support, and that can be a challenge to find those nonprofits that are making a direct impact upon a population that really needs the help. And that's what we found with NuPath.
Getting involved with NuPath was important to me because I feel like I need to support NuPath as much as I can. Robert loves to come to the event. It's his favorite thing, the walk. NuPath is very important to him. NuPath is very important to me, and he's very important to my daughter and my husband, who are all very involved and engaged.
My son, John, my oldest, has been diagnosed with autism. NuPath does everything. They do job training, they do life skills, they do socialization skills, they have events to support people who are actually doing this stuff. It makes such a difference. You feel good every day, and NuPath does that in a way that no other charity that I deal with does.
So it is important that we do this fundraising so that we do have, our NuPath does have the opportunity to be that much better than other organizations.
We'd love to see them to continue their path for innovative programs, and if we can be a part of that, we're happy to.
Well, that was fantastic. I think it's time to bring Rosemary on to welcome her to NuPath Live. Rosemary, hi, how are you?
Hi, Dan. I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for being a part of this. Have you been on NuPath Live before? Surely you have.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
I think last year, a couple of years ago.
If we need anybody smart and beautiful, we just come to you and we ask you to do something for us. That's my flattery. You are Rosemary Valente Hubbard. You are Senior Vice President at Cambridge Savings Bank, mother and board member. We're going to just take a little, very brief walk back in time because I don't have too much time. But your son, Robert, joined NuPath in November of 2014, thereabouts. And it was 2017 when I first became acutely aware of your family. I don't know if that was the first year or it was one of the first years we made a big deal. We had trophies and everything. And your son, Robert, was the first place fundraiser. Of course, you've been a major support to NuPath all this time. And it was later that year in August, I believe. Remember this picture of you and your beautiful daughter, Jacqueline, on that cruise that we took as part of Club 50, that you joined us for that. And I'll never forget that experience with you and Jacqueline. Of course, we just fell in love with Jacqueline. She was a part of our annual celebrations and so much more. And you and I had a chance to bond, and I was able to hear the story. And I thought, this is somebody very, very special that we want to make sure that we're taking care of, or we're including as much as we can. And so you actually joined our board in January of 2019. I promise I'm going to give you a chance to talk in 1 minute. Robert has been the most successful individual fundraiser 4 times since 2014. And don't forget, 2 of those years where we didn't have the walk because of COVID. Also, if I had more time, I was going to find some of the pictures you've sent me of, he's the biggest fanboy of NuPath. He collects every ornament NuPath has ever produced, every shirt, every apparel. He digs NuPath, and we like that. In the history since you've joined NuPath, your family has raised a total of $97,717. What do you think of that?
Pretty amazing. Yeah. I don't keep
Amazing.
track, but that's a big number.
Well, that is why you have us to help keep track, because we do keep track of those kinds of things. Already this year, you guys have brought in $22,000, and that is absolutely positively extraordinary. Oh, I didn't want to go to this just yet because we're going to talk about that in a second. But so Rosemary, that was a fantastic video that you were part of that we just watched. What was it like filming it? Was it weird? We appreciate you doing it. You were terrific.
No, I thought it was long. But no, I thought it was it's important for, it's important. When I was asked to do the video, I was very appreciative to have the opportunity to really express how I felt and why we do what we do, and just really, supporting NuPath is very passionate for us.
You've been involved in Robert's life, in both of your children's lives, I'm sure, all throughout their life experience. And when you came to us, you had come from an organization, a school that you love dearly. In fact, I think you're still very involved with them. And what was it that helped you make the decision that you were going to continue that service and that involvement with NuPath? Because you didn't have to. You're a busy professional. You've got lots of commitments throughout the communities. You're on other boards. What is it that we did right? How was it that we were able to connect with you?
Well, what I personally like most about NuPath is you're very innovative. You don't just sit on your laurels. You move forward, and you are always looking to be better at what you do. And just, sitting on the board or being involved. I did that with Jacqueline, my daughter, when she was in, soccer camp, and I was always involved. I was always engaged. I went to the parties. I was engaged myself with the people who were involved in her life. And, Robert didn't end when he turned 18. His, my involvement continued. I want to be part of his life. I want to know, who's on the other side of that door, who's supporting him and helping him. So it's just, I think, a motherly instinct for me, but I need to be comfortable. I need to be confident, and I need to make sure that we're working with the right partners to make sure that he's successful, and we're all collaborating together.
Oh, that's so beautifully said. I wish we had more time, because I'd make you tell everybody the story of how you filled in as job coach for him that day at Home Depot. I just love that story. I've told so many people how invested you were. How many people asked you questions about whether or not can I return this without a receipt and all of that. But we'll have to save that for another day.
Yeah.
You are helping. You're on the team Board of Believers. We only got a minute left or so. This event scheduled for September 27th. Should people come if they're hearing about it? I'm going to be there. I'm getting the table. I've got a bunch of friends from Martin Center going to be there.
Yeah, please come. Doors are opening at 6 o'clock. There's going to be music. There's going to be karaoke, possibly. There's going to be, music. There's going to be bingo. There'll be prizes. It will be a fun event, and it's really bringing our community together to raise money to support NuPath in a big way. So I would love to have everybody come. The board is very excited. We only have 125 people that can come. So please, reach out and to Sandy or myself or anybody, and just let us know that you're coming, and we'll reserve your spot.
Perfect. Yeah, we're about half the tickets are nearly 3/4 sold already. So if you want to get in on this, you want to do it right away. All right, Rosemary, I'm going to just wrap this up. I'm going to see you twice. I'm going to see you on Friday, a week from Friday, at the bingo, and then the following Saturday at the walk, and many times beyond that. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Thank you for your message, for the example you provide others, and for your service to NuPath. We love you.
Thank you, Stan. It was great talking to you today.
We got this.
All right, we got this.
Bye, Rosemary.
Bye.
Isn't she amazing? I love that woman. She doesn't like it when I go on and on about her, but she's an incredible person, as is so many people out there, all working together. We can do this, guys. I have 100% faith in it, in all of you. And this is the exciting part. This is what gets the juices flowing and wakes you up. So you know what you got to do, guys. We got this. All right, we'll be in touch soon. Take care. Bye-bye.